Welcome. We're still in Liverpool. What's wrong?
We're still in Liverpool,
And I'm
guys.
tucking them in. But yeah, and we're exhausted. We'll be totally honest. We've had a day of kind of trying to relax and falling asleep, and yeah, but we haven't been able to live stream for so long, and there's a very good reason for that. Is that we're not allowed to live stream from the press centre in Liverpool. So new rules this year: no live streaming allowed, whether it's during rehearsals or in between shows. No live streaming from the venue, and you've probably all heard about that already. So yeah, we've kind of missed connecting with everyone and kind of getting your feedback, but we have been reading the comments under the videos, etc. And yeah, we feel like we have to come and talk to you guys finally about what happened last night. So Justin, I'm going to come to you first because you were in the village actually watching the grand final. How was the atmosphere down there?
It was insane. I haven't been to a concert or anything post-COVID, so to experience that live music festival feeling down there, and that's what it felt like. It felt like a music festival. It was amazing.
Yeah, and I saw some of the videos of the reactions of people during the voting, etc., including yours, actually. So you guys can go and check out Shannon. Guys, you're going to have to put up with this today. I'm so sorry. We're so tired. Shanacy and Justin's reaction to the voting, which was controversial and tense as hell. And I'm sure we will talk about that. But let's say hello, first of all, to... we've got Burak. Hello, Burak. What a final. Wow.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was incredible. It was nerve-wracking. It was kind of predictable and unpredictable at the same time. Like... just so much going on, but all in all, what a fantastic show. Whether you agree with the result or not, I think we all probably unanimously feel that it was, you know, for me, one of the best Eurovisions I've seen, that I've been to for a long time.
For me, the voting was such a tense moment. The fact that Kari came fourth to the jury, but then skyrocketed, like he plunged himself all the way up to the top with the televote. He won the televote, and then it looked like he might win, but then Loreen came with 200 and, like, more points than to surpass Kari again. It was like those 2 minutes where we thought that Kari might win were amazing.
Well, we all kind of thought, didn't we? Like during the jury voting, that actually is you know, Loreen had landslided the jury voting. There was no way that Cardia could catch her. But then when they got to like the last two countries, and they're like, oh, Loreen needs whatever it was, 200 and something, no, 187 points or something. We thought, shit, actually, like he can still pass her. So the voting, which maybe became a little boring during the jury voting, because you could kind of see where it was going, suddenly became exciting again. And poor Jess as well. Like, Jess is the worst person to be sat with during voting, because she's like the head in the hands and she's so nervous. We're missing Jess tonight because Jess has already headed home, and Sanya's with us, but she's not feeling well, so send lots of love to Sanya, guys. Hello to Bubble Pirate. We've got Rye Bailey. You're sad it's all over. We've got Beckett Fitz. Oh, Clary, you're going to get this a lot. What on earth happened to Spain's televote?
If you follow me, or like follow us, you know I wasn't Spain's biggest fan of the song. And Andy has been teasing me a lot about when Spain is on cover, smile, Clara, your country. I never really liked the song, and I think it's a song, and I always, during the live streams we had here, I always said maybe it's a song that will appeal to Europeans or like the tourists, but it's a song in Spain people don't really get behind that much, because it's not the kind of music we listen in the radios. This is Spanish typical music, but it's not what we listen to. And I think it's a song that came across very screamy and very with like strobo light. Like the lighting, it was very confusing. It was too much. Some of the shots were too short and too flashy, and it was just too much to process visually. That's what I think happened.
But it was we never knew with Spain, did we, whether it was going to be a big televote song. I think my surprise actually was Spain. Well, I was surprised by the televote score, but also the jury score. I'd seen it as a potential kind of top three in the juries. It didn't happen.
Absolutely. The jury puzzles me more than the televote, to be honest. I feel like because it is so artistic and, creative, and sometimes we do forget that, the casual viewer of Eurovision who's voting hasn't followed the journey, so they haven't had as long to really connect with the song. 5 points though that is very low.
And it's part of the big six, so this was a song people saw it for the first time. So even if you follow Eurovision, like the semi-finals, you would have seen some of the songs being performed before, so you might have already been warmed to those songs.
Let's say hello to Ben Enti. We've got Alexandros in the chat. Hello. We've got Novino. You're glad that you won, so you're obviously from Sweden. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah, the night belonged to Loreen. It wasn't a huge surprise to anyone, I don't think. Maybe a bit more of a muted reaction in the arena than we were expecting. But yeah, it's people are going to have their opinions about Cardia not winning, about Loreen winning, about Spain not coming top 10, etc. But you can't argue that Loreen's performance on the night, the song, her whole vibe, it was a winning. It was a winning performance, so not a huge surprise to us, and congratulations to you. We've got Giovanna. Yes, Italy back in the top 5.
Yes.
Now, I have to say that I was a little bit fearful that they wouldn't get as high placing as they got. Not because I don't love, I really, really love Marco, like more than I would care to admit. Yeah, the jury, I think second in the jury.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And the performance again was just beautiful. It was stunning, and it's just Italy always sends such quality to Eurovision that it was a deserved 4th place.
Yes, 4th place.
4th place.
I got it in my top 4. Like, this is the one position.
Clara called this one.
I called Israel, I called Italy, I called Ukraine and Australia, and then I had Finland first and Sweden second, but it switched. So I'm actually pretty happy with my predictions.
Hello to Gingerbread. Thank you for coming back to us. We've got Lukasz. Hello, greetings from Poland.
Cześć!
Cześć. And Claudio, you're so happy for Italy. We've got Mark Bugod. Hey, Mark.
Hi.
It was so nice to meet you. I'm sorry we didn't get to see you again, but thank you so much for coming and saying hi, and hope you enjoyed the rest of your week. And to everyone else that came up and said hello to us as well this week, especially when we've been out kind of filming outside the arena. We can't remember everyone's names, but it was a good chance for us to say thank you to you all. So Mark, you're saying you're happy that Loreen has won. Burak, hey Burak, today's an important day for Turkey. Had an election. If everything goes well, Turkey will be back to Eurovision next year. Well, I think we're all crossing our fingers for that. I hope you get the result that I know so many people in Turkey want. Alexander Pagels, you happy? Yes, Voyager. Well, come on, Justin. How does it feel to be back in the top 10?
Just so beyond proud of the guys. They just absolutely nailed every moment. They really lived every moment, and they live and breathe and have such a passion for Eurovision, and that really comes across in everything they've done in those last couple of weeks.
And maybe a bit of a surprise for them, actually. I'm not even sure that they were expecting to win the semi-final and come top 10. But it was kind of as the rehearsals had started and people saw how the song was going to be staged, it really picked up a lot of buzz. And I remember when we were watching, I think, the semi-final, and the people around us, mums, were messaging them, all saying that they loved Australia.
It's so funny how we pay so much attention to what our mothers in Eurovox and like the Polish team that was sitting next to us. We were all talking about what our mothers were saying.
Gingerbread, has Netta come up with the Swedish city? We saw Netta yesterday, and she was very specific that she's not going to suggest a city this year. So we have no idea where we're not going this year because she hasn't announced a city yet. Harut, hello to you. Poor result for Armenia and France. Well, Armenia, I think, top of the right-hand side of the scoreboard. So I think 14th. 14th, I think, Armenia. So I wouldn't say it was necessarily disappointing. I mean, everyone, if there's a lot of hype around the song, people are disappointed not to come top 10. But I don't think
Armenia
that's necessarily...
came 14th, yes.
14th, yeah.
And France.
France, yes, maybe
16th.
lower than I expected, 16th.
Mm-hmm.
But she's still a queen to me.
Yes.
Rye Bailey, sad the UK back at the bottom. I'll be honest, I'm not overly surprised. I don't think I think the performing 26th, I don't think it was the right song to close the final. And May's done a fantastic job representing the UK, but the vocals for me. There's a really good article actually in the UK by the BBC about why the UK performed badly this year, and it's nothing about political neighbourly voting, anything like that. Basically saying that the song has to be in everyone's top 10 to get points. It could have been in everyone's 11th place. We don't know. But it just wasn't good enough, and there was better songs that people liked more. But that's not to say that May. It was a bad song. It was a good song by the UK this year. A radio song, a commercial song.
Yeah, radio friendly. We're still gonna get down to it in the clubs, in Euro clubs.
Yeah, and a career hopefully for May Muller as well. Hey Gareth Bowen, how you doing? We've got On in Travel. We've got Alexandros says congratulations to Loreen. Despite the fact that you personally wanted Finland to win. I'll be honest, I was looking out for a Finland win. I would have loved Finland to win as well. But Sweden's always been up there in kind of in my favourites.
And to be honest, when it comes to Eurovision points, there's a 60-point difference between Karja and Loreen, and I don't think that's so huge. We've always had like these really bigger gaps between the first and the second winner, lately at least.
Really good question from Yoddy Toddy here. Justin, I'm going to go over to you first. Given the difference in results between the public and jury votes, do you think the only way to win is to send a safe song?
I mean, coming from an Australian perspective, it's up in the air. We sent something completely different than what we've ever sent this year. We've never had anything rock. We've never had anything super upbeat. I can't really explain a lot of the gaps between juries and televotes this year.
To be fair, Karja's vocals were not so on point, and he did receive some 12 points. So it's not about a safe song, because I'm quite sure he received points from many juries. I'm quite sure they all appreciated the different style of song that he brought. It was just this time that the vocals, he struggled, like in the singing part, it was not perfect. And what a jury song must have is not necessarily a safe song. It has to be like the vocals have to be there.
Sorry.
No, I just finished.
And I'm going to say no. I don't think it's a reason to send something safe, because safe generally doesn't always stand out.
Yeah.
And you need to stand out in Eurovision. You can stand out with what you would class as a safe song, but it needs to be a standout song. And I've seen comments about do the UK need to send something safe? No, we don't. We need to keep on this path because it's a good path. We're not going to get a second place every year, but I would rather get results further down, but be able to, unashamedly sing along and dance along and support my entry, which I've been able to do for the past couple of years. And we will get a good result again. We've already proved that we can do it. So I don't want to hear from anyone else, especially in the UK, about it's all about politics. And seeing how the UK has embraced Eurovision this year as well. I've had so many messages from friends, saying that they're watching it. People that I wouldn't normally expect. Every taxi ride we've had here, the taxi driver, some of them have listened to the songs or they've got their favourites. It's just been amazing.
Yeah. All of the cab rides have been really fun.
Fun for more than one reason. Fun because it's fun watching Clara trying to understand what the cab drivers are saying.
In Clara's defense, though, I've been having issues.
Thank you.
I love the accents, though.
Gingerbread, you're correcting me as well. Israel actually came second with the juries and Italy came third. Thank you for that. Neil Erry, you're devastated by yesterday's show and results. I'm sorry to hear that. Looks like Baby proved all her haters wrong, says Beckett Fitz. I'm quite happy about that.
Yeah, I think she really embraced the journey. She knows what happens in TVP, but she knows she's been getting the hate. But she's done like lemonade out of the lemons, and the fact that she's embraced the Beba and the Eurovision spirit, I think it says a lot about her.
Yeah, she's dealt with it all.
Yeah, really professionally with a lot of class. She could have just smashed the haters and I don't know, be very messy about it, but she just kept on doing her thing.
Yeah. We've got, hey, Jose Santos, we love you too. It's the first time you realise that the running order has a huge impact in the results. Austria in the final, Norway in the semi-final, and France in the final.
Yes.
Yeah, very true. Austria in the final obviously opened the show and ended up coming.
I don't really know because I just have like the... you mean...
15th.
Sorry.
15th. Which it was probably one of the favourites. It was always high up in the odds. And
But my sister messaged me after she watched it. She's a casual viewer, and she said she didn't really get it.
yeah, maybe it didn't translate as well on stage for me.
Like, it makes more sense when you watch the video clip rather than when you watch the performance. Because the performance is made for people who have already watched the video clip, I would say.
We've got Ben Enti, hello to you. We've got Kristin Augustad from Norway.
Hi.
What a televote score for
Yes.
Alessandra yesterday as well. That was amazing. Well done to you guys. We've got Ma Petite Amie. We've got Gareth Bowen. I don't even think I can talk about this, Gareth. Malta being last in the final. I think my face says it all.
Undeserved, completely undeserved.
Hello to Zar Bakri, hello. And you're thanking us for our Eurovision coverage this year. We did an amazing job. So I'm going to agree with you. These guys were fantastic. And we had lots of limitations on us this year. Much of what we could do in the press centre normally, we weren't able to do. So we were able to do no live streams. And that is something that we felt really bad about, especially the past week. Because we always love to live stream, either after the shows or during the shows with you guys. The reason we weren't able to do it after the shows is because by the time we'd done everything we need to do, we're not just in the press centre to watch through a rehearsal and then go home. We have videos to edit, we have videos to record, and by the time we got home, it's just too late. None of you would be awake even, and it seems a bit pointless going live kind of at 2 or 3 in the morning UK time.
Yeah, yesterday we came to the apartment after the show it was like 2 or 3. It was still in the press center.
It was just before 3 we got,
yes.
So I think they started throwing people out of the press centre at 3 o'clock yesterday. I'm speaking personally now, I'm so proud of what we've done this year, but it might not be as much as we were hoping to do, but it's amazing what we've done.
Considering the restrictions we have, absolutely.
So thank you. And I don't want to feel like I've got a big ego, but I'm just very proud of Eurovox and the team and everything that we've achieved. We've got Serbian Empire. Italy's the only one that always sends quality and ranks well from the Big Five. Italy's the only one that never sends a song for Eurovision.
Yes, very well pointed out. And plus Sanremo is a very tough competition in itself, so there's a good quality filter.
And while we're talking about Italy as well, let's talk about the snip snip, because Italy has to snip every year, don't they?
What
generally
does that mean?
cut it down to 3 minutes, and I actually think
This time,
it became better.
yes, absolutely. Because I remember when I was listening the song in Spotify, I recognized it's Marco Mengoni, and then I start listening, and then but then I tune out. But this one had the perfect length.
Yeah. Hello, Marine Gushchich. I hope I said that right. I'm learning my sh sounds, and you're just saying Mama sh. And yeah, 13th place for Croatia.
Yeah, that's actually way more than I expected. I thought maybe the casual viewer would find a little distasteful the performance when they like take their coats off, but I love that everyone was on board with the madness, craziness, and the operatic aspect of it. I thought it was really entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I haven't seen how how many points Croatia got, if they got any in the rest of the world vote. I don't think we've got a full breakdown yet of all of the points. But you know, lots of people were expecting Croatia to come top 10 maybe as well. But yeah, great televote.
Yeah, Croatia got 11 points from the jury, so it came second with the jury from the bottom, and it came 13. Well, a lot of votes. Those are a lot of votes.
Have we got a breakdown of the rest of the world, like full
No, not
ranking?
yet that I am aware of.
That's something that I'm looking
do?
forward to see. The full ranking from like 1 to 26. We're looking at Sanya, who's sadly sat here with a headache. Have we got like a full list of?
I think we have top 10, but maybe not a full list still.
Okay. Did they get any points, Croatia, in the rest of the world vote?
I don't think so.
No, I would just love, like, obviously we've followed Let 3 kind of for a few months now, so we get it. I'll be interested to see what the rest of the world thought seeing that for the first time. But I have to say the crowd in the press centre went off. It was one of the best received performances.
Got 3.
They got 3 points in the rest of the world voting. Did they? I didn't realise that. Is that right?
I don't know yet.
Someone let us know how many points Croatia got in the rest of the world voting. We've been walking around like zombies for most of today.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Whatever. Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to read this out because it's lovely. Hello, guys. Just want to send a quick thank you for all the content because of you. Eurovision is a bit more fun to follow. Thank you so much, and we're so sorry we weren't able to live stream. And because you mentioned it, because of you, how happy are we for Gustav?
Oh, he's in the top 10. I don't think he even himself expected that, and I'm so happy. It means, for me, what a lot. Like, for him, this must mean way more than for other artists in the top 10.
Mm.
I have to send you a video. I actually got a video of me reacting to him getting a 12 point.
Ooh.
And just so incredibly happy for him and proud for him.
Yes.
7K, you're saying a country with no 12 points in the televote from any country wins over another country that had 12 points from 18 countries. I get why people are going to kind of look at that as an issue, but she got many 10 points. You know, people are going to be happy, people are going to be unhappy. Christine, Beckett Fitz, you're saying, do you think Spain and the UK will focus on finding another Chanel and or Sam Ryder next year?
Yeah, I've heard that Spain should go back to the Chanel formula, which honestly I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad.
I think we should get Sam Ryder back. How insane was his performance in the in the interval? How moving was? Well, it's called Move. No, was it called Mountain?
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really moving, and he looks like an absolute star now.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like inviting back the previous year's contestant to sing. It felt like inviting a big star back to sing, and that just shows you what Eurovision can do for your career. And I'm hoping that other artists in the UK are going to be watching that as well. While we're talking about Sam Ryder, the interval act as well, the Kalush Orchestra opening.
Wow, that was amazing. And we got to see it in the rehearsal, and we were already wowed there. But like seeing it on TV with all of the effects and camera angles and so on, it was amazing. That was a great opening. Yeah,
no, it was amazing to see it in the arena. Just to confirm though that there's a lot of the VT we didn't see. So we had no idea about Kate Middleton, Andrew Lloyd Webber. We didn't even see. Well, I don't think we saw. The only VT we saw was actually Kalush on like the metro train. That's all we saw. So we saw none of the other artists that had been featured in that clip, and that was a really nice surprise.
I actually really like this from the BBC and the production that they didn't let us see all. So they also kept some surprises for us at the press centre. Yeah,
which is really important, and I like that because selfishly we're very, very privileged to be here. But when you're watching through the show a number of times, it's parts of it can become a bit monotonous. Like when you're watching fake voting all the time, for instance. So it's kind of nice for us that we had a few little surprises that we didn't know about as well. Let's have a look. Christine, you're saying you wish the jury counted for 30%, not 50%. So you're talking about rebalancing the weighting of the jury and televoting, and I actually think that is something that the EBU will potentially look at. And the reason I think that is because depending on what happens today in Turkey, I have a feeling we might be getting Turkey back at Eurovision. We've got Luxembourg who have come back after 31 years. Who, as a small nation, are going to be hoping that there's juries in the semi-finals. We already know a country like Turkey doesn't want juries in the semi-finals or the final. So I'm wondering if the EBU is going to have to start looking at a new balance to try and keep everyone happy.
Ooh,
I mean,
we said that at the same time.
I mean, they will have looked at it already.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a new idea. You know, they will have looked at various different formats. But maybe let's see what happens in Melfest next year as well, because that's or what happened this year with the voting in Melfest. Was that changed at all? It's always a good show to watch because a lot of the ideas come from Melfest. Mark Bougord, Liverpool did Europe so proud, achieving a masterpiece of a show. The organisation was incredible. And that's from you, Mark, who was actually here in Liverpool and got to go to the shows. Have to say, I have never been to a city that has embraced Eurovision like Liverpool has. We spoke to some Dutch friends the other day who said that they feel Rotterdam would have been the same, but obviously Rotterdam was during COVID time, so they weren't able to. But Justin, your first Eurovision, actually.
It is. It's my first time in the UK, and my impressions of the UK is like, I actually want to move here.
We've all said this at some point, especially today that we've had a free day and we've been walking around. It's such a lovely city. Like we all see each other like living here. But during the Eurovision weeks, the atmosphere was so fantastic, and it's so friendly. There's so much music. Every pub there's like live music, and it's like they're fighting to see who has the loudest pub like music, and the people here just walk happily. I don't know. It's a lovely atmosphere.
We've got Beth P. Seems to you that Eurovision is so political. Okay. Alexandros, do we know which city in Sweden Eurovision will be next year? So I have my preference. I would love it to be in Malmö because it's just easier for me to get to. But I've been to Stockholm before. And so I personally would like to go to a different city. But I mean, we're probably talking Stockholm, Gothenburg or Malmö.
For me, the cheapest, please.
I don't really mind which city it is. I've always identified as a Swedish person in an Australian body. I just want to be there.
Hey Harry as well. You've just got home. So Harry from Team Eurovox. Thank you, Harry, for letting us know that you got back, and we miss you as well. We didn't get to say goodbye to you earlier. You just disappeared. But we'll talk to you later today. Ben NT, thank you so much for saying that we did a great job. Really, really appreciate that. Gingerbread, I'm glad you like the live streams. We will have a rest. So, you know, we have been a bit like zombies today. So I think we've all fallen asleep at various points during the day. Alessandro, hello to you. Alessandro Napoli. Do we think the jury vote should be abolished? No.
No. There has to be some quality filter eventually, or we will get a lot of troll songs, and that really sets the competition backwards, and it hinders the credibility of the show.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the quality that we lost in the semi-final without having the jury there. Like Georgia, that.
Yeah.
If Chris T wants to know, if Finland, Israel, Italy had won, would it have been a well-deserved win too? I would say yes to all three of those.
Yes. There's something to say good about all of them. Italy, class. Noa Kirel has a fantastic break of like the choreo moment. It is a moment. It's undeniably a moment. Kärja is fantastic. He's a fantastic showman, brilliant showman. The song was fresh. And Loreen is Loreen, and the performance was really visually appealing.
Alexander Pagels, you're saying Gustav in the top 10 has to be one of the biggest underdog stories ever, and I'm happy that he proved me completely wrong because I was totally wrong about him and his song, and I'm happy that I was proven wrong because probably one of my favourite moments has been his reaction and actually talking to him about his life and his story, and he, you know. There was a really personal sentiment on stage. That stage show was his story. So I'm so happy for him, and I'm happy to hold my hands up and say I was completely wrong about him and his song. Oh, sorry. We'll wrap this up soon. We've got Vincent saying Harry did an amazing job. He did. San Remo is bigger to Italian artists than Eurovision. They bring quality to the table for that very reason. So it's like we were saying before, Italy don't choose a song for Eurovision. Franco Tamino, you're extremely disappointed for Cardia not winning. You think Loreen and her song are way overrated. It was not even in your personal top 10. People are going to feel many different ways about this. I'll quite happily say that as much as I love Loreen and love the song and think that she did a great job, I would have been I wanted Cardia to win out of the two of them. But that's because I kind of wanted to see someone else win it as well. And, we've got to meet Cardia a number of times over the past few months. And there's just something so endearing and his personality and the way he talks, and he's just cute and you want to hang out with him. And
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've also met Loreen and she's really cool too. But Cardia was bringing something fresh and new to the festival. Loreen, we've already seen her artistry, so maybe it would have been a good chance to. Well, it has been a really good chance to introduce new artists and new song concepts.
Anything to say? No.
Tuned out for a moment. That's listening to you.
We have to say that Justin has been suffering with the worst jet lag I've ever seen.
It truly has.
Bubble Pirate next year. San Marino send Roberta the Bull. Oh, with Achille Laura on top of it. I hope because I loved it. Mark Booger, guys, thank you so. I'm actually going to read out. I rarely read out our nice comments, but I am going to read them out. We always acknowledge them. I don't always read them out. But Vincent F, Eurovox always showing that you can be honest and positive at the same time. Thank you very much. We see so much toxicity every year and negativity, and that's not what Eurovision should be about. And we've seen it at some of the pre-parties, with the artists, and we've seen lots of stuff directed to the artists. I would like to see many of you try and get up on. Well, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you in general. It's.
It would be what he's saying. We would like to see the people that write those comments on the stage trying to do what the artists do. Yeah. And think, they'll see how hard it is.
I absolutely agree with that. I've noticed the last 2 years, the level of toxicity
has risen, right? You also got that feeling?
Beyond comprehensible levels. And my standard reply now is I see something in a group or a Facebook page. My standard reply now is, well, I'm looking forward to seeing your entry next year.
My standard reply is 0. I don't even bother to engage with it. And we've had nasty things directed at us on YouTube as well. I often have to delete comments that are nasty about us. And my advice is always don't respond, don't acknowledge it.
Because you also may have a bad day, and that doesn't mean you're a bad person.
100%. Mark Bugard, thank you. Eurovox team, congratulations. You guys are amazing. Best Eurovision channel. And you hope to see us in Stockholm. Sorry, you hope it will be in Stockholm Friends Arena 2024. We were actually having a sneaky look earlier because I've heard, I don't know how true this is, that the Avicii Arena, as it is, the old Globe Arena, has been renovated or fixed during Eurovision. So I'm not sure if it would be able to be held there anyway. Nossa eu amo a cafera. I hope I said that right. What about Spain? Last place in the public. Was it last place in the public vote?
Yes.
I didn't even know that. I knew it was only 5 points.
It was Spain, the UK, and Germany.
Ooh,
those are the 3 last.
Burn. Not deserved for me.
Not deserved, but I understand it's hard to connect. Culturally, it can be hard to connect with that song. Vocally, the performance was flawless, but I understand culturally might not be the one you want to connect, or you would rather vote for Cardia, obviously.
Thanks, Gingerbread, for confirming the rest of the world votes. Croatia got 3 points in both the semi and the final. let's just talk about the hosts, because I don't feel like we even mentioned the hosts, and I'm not going to talk about them, but I'm going to ask you guys to talk about them. What you thought?
I thought they were very entertaining. I thought Alicia Dixon was my
Alicia Dixon.
Alicia Dixon was my favorite. I think she did an amazing job. She's incredibly magnetic, and I want to like follow all of her instructions every day.
Absolutely. I mean, Hannah Waddington, queen, icon. She needs to be at Eurovision every year. I wouldn't be mad at that.
My only feeling is that it really felt like a British show, and even though there was a Ukrainian effort, I felt the semi-finals were more Ukrainian than the actual final.
Yeah, actually, I would agree with that. The level of Ukrainian content that we did get over the whole, I think, was the perfect amount.
Jetalina Woods wants to know: is there a reaction video to the voting from us guys? Is there? I can't remember.
There's one on TikTok.
Oh, there is. Yes,
There's
so
one on
you can
TikTok
go and
and
watch it on TikTok.
Instagram.
Again, the amount of rules that were in place, sometimes it was hard to work out what we were allowed to do and what we weren't allowed to do. We were told explicitly we weren't able to record a reaction from the press centre to go onto YouTube. So
But-
we've not put one on YouTube, but it's on our TikTok, so you have to go and watch it on TikTok.
Yes, so basically some things can go on YouTube, cannot go on YouTube, but they can go on TikTok and Instagram. Why?
And I know you guys will say that so-and-so put theirs on YouTube, so-and-so put theirs on YouTube as well.
We're just following
We don't want to
rules.
break any rules, so we're doing it as we've been told. The only difficulty is different people seem to have been told different things, or rules have been interpreted in different ways. We don't want to lose our chance to go to Eurovision and be able to create content next year. So we're doing everything by the book as best we can. But yes, it's a good opportunity to tell you to go onto our TikTok, because we've got even more content on TikTok that you can watch, including our reaction to semi-finals, to the finals.
And we've learned how to do TikTok.
However, what you can watch is Janice
and Justin.
Shanacy and Justin's reaction from to the voting from the Euro Village. It's got the best thumbnail I've ever seen. With Justin literally up.
I've seen it.
Let's have a look. Guys, thank you so much for the love about what we've done the past 2 weeks. It's not been easy, but everyone has done a fantastic job. Marta, you want to know what about Lazara ending in 16th place? You thought she was top 10 in the bookies.
She was in my top 10 for sure.
Running order is all I'm going to say. I think it was, I think that maybe harmed her. One thing I'm going to say is that through all the rehearsals we've seen, she's kind of had her hair like stuck, I don't know what you call it.
Waves.
Glued to her head, if there's a word for that.
Wet waves, I think it's called.
Yeah, but when they stick it down to your head. But I thought she looked absolutely beautiful with her hair, how she had it in the final.
I agree. Maybe the song came across a little cold. She was like, I love her persona, but maybe people wanted to connect to someone more human, or like that felt warmer. That's the only thing I would see. Because all of the angles were really pretty.
I agree with that. It didn't come off as cold, but there wasn't a lot of connection with her.
Gina Prosperi, you're not very happy that Italy didn't win. We quite happily would have come back to Italy next year. But I didn't have Italy down as a winner. When he was kind of in the top 2, top 3 of the juries, for me, that was a result that I could expect more than him winning the televote. But fourth place, I mean, Italy, you're literally the powerhouse. So there's nothing for you to be disappointed about. I think now you're the first country in so many decades to get a top 6 placing in 6 consecutive contests.
That's a really good,
Or 5.
30 years, I think.
Yeah. Because you had, who was it? We had Fabrizio and Ermau in 2018.
Yeah.
We had Mahmoud in 2019. Then you had Måneskin, obviously. You had Måneskin.
Yes,
Then it's Mahmoud
again.
and Blanco. We've had Marco Mengoni. So who was before? Who was before Fabrizio and 2017?
Francesco.
Yes, Francesco.
Occidentalis Karma.
So yeah, I mean, I would love to be Italian right now with those results. So don't be disappointed. Many other countries would love for those results. Alexandros, you will see us again for our next live stream for now Eurovision in Sweden. Have a nice summer. Well, we hope you don't leave it all summer before you come back to us. We love catching up with you, Alexandros. Beth P says Mimi Cat didn't deserve the results, but we are so proud for her love from Portugal. It was
again.
running order again. I actually think Portugal would have been a good opener for the semi-final.
That is very true. But then Austria's chances would have completely.
We've got Chris Wharton. You're happy to say that as someone who's a Scouser, as a city, we get a bad rep. You think Eurovision has been brilliant for Liverpool to be seen as a good city. Well, we're all going to talk about Liverpool now. Justin, go.
Just love, absolutely. A lot of Liverpool actually reminds me of my hometown, Newcastle. Just the vibe, the friendliness. Like, I haven't met a person since I got here last Sunday that's made me go, no. Yeah, I absolutely, if I come back to the UK, I'm definitely making this my first stop.
And just to be clear, he's talking about Newcastle, Australia,
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Not Newcastle in the UK. Clara.
I really like it. I've been a lot to the UK, to different parts, but I had never been to Liverpool. And I really like it. I think the atmosphere is fantastic. All of the streets are so pretty. All of the buildings are so interesting. And the people, it's like such a beautiful combination of the people and the buildings. I don't know, I like it very much. And the music and the culture, I like it.
Yeah, I love it here. I kind of don't want to. We've actually spoken about how we would love to move here because the city is nothing at all that I expected. I wasn't expecting a city that looked so beautiful. The people, I kind of knew what the people would be like because we're in the north of the UK and you kind of get a different vibe from people the further up UK, a bit of a friendlier vibe. But yeah, it's just like visually it's beautiful and the light down by the docks and the Liver building. It's just stunning and how they've mixed like modern architecture with kind of the older architecture. It's just we've seen like beautiful sunsets down by over the Mersey and like you can see all over Birkenhead and we've been like for a walk through this beautiful Sefton Park today and down this lane with all these independent shops and they're just such a scene and such a vibe and the traffic's free flowing and there's just so much to like about this city. Like really, I genuinely love it here and would love to live here. And if you didn't get to come for Eurovision, I really suggest, especially if you're in the UK, we know we've got lots of cities to choose from for visits. Definitely put Liverpool on your list because you will not be disappointed. Great job, Liverpool. Hey, Marcus Ericsson, lovely Marcus Ericsson, I should say. We've got Vitor Vieira. Are we disappointed with the position of Portugal in the final? And they came.
Portugal came 23rd.
Yes. Very disappointed.
Yeah. Yes.
But she did a great job.
I mean, this is a performance that you can go home and feel proud of. So, yeah. There's things that are out of her hands. She did everything she had to do. Her whole delegation, her whole team did everything that was in their hand. And at the end, you just have to release your performance and there's nothing much you can do about it. She did everything.
Oh, thank you. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it's one of the things I respect most about Portugal is they know what they like. They don't care about fitting in with mainstream music or what's popular at the moment. And we've seen it before with Portugal. They tend to send everything they send is really artsy and really it has a different point of view, and it's not always received well. Like Conan Osiris is the big one that I can think of. Even like Claudia Pascal.
Oh,
that was beautiful.
But since then, if you think about the Black Mamba, there wasn't hype around that song before Eurovision in 2021. The rehearsal, the staging, totally transformed it. And I think they came like 12th or 13th last year with Maru, a top 10 placing. Obviously, you had the win in 2017 as well. 2018 with Claudia, we'll say it was the host country curse, because that was a beautiful song. But then think about Portugal before 2017. So countries can turn their chances around, and qualification this year for Mimicat and Portugal was fantastic, because it was there's a lot of love for the song, but you don't know how a song like that, which is very unique, it's quite niche, how it's gonna appeal universally to a wider audience than Eurovision or Festival da Canção fans. So to get through to the final was a huge achievement, and you know, we got to meet her, and we know that was the goal, really. Well, not even a goal. She just wants to perform on stage and show who she is. So
mission accomplished.
yeah. Justina wants to know, what about Italy and Marco? Did we like it?
Yes, I thought his vocals were fantastic, and he had fantastic vocals back to back from every run through I saw, and it was visually very engaging. He's very charismatic, so I really enjoyed his performance.
Alessandro on Napoli. Do we know if Australia will be back next year? Go and check our channel, because Justin and Shanti did a video about why they should be back next year, but we can't see them shutting the door on Australia.
No,
I can't see it happening.
When they're in the top 10.
Marcus Eriksson, thanks for all the great content this year, Eurovox. Big thumbs up, thank you so much, and thank you for all of your support, guys. Elida, I hope I've read that right, my eyes are going blurry now. Elida Zanic, what about Slovenia and Big Flop? For me, Slovenia, it didn't get the position that I thought it should. I actually saw Slovenia as a potential top 10. However, you know, we've had some time to speak to the band's manager, and seeing how the audience has changed for Joke It Out from being primarily Slovenian to now audiences from all over the country. Watch this space for Joke It Out. And not, of course, it's disappointing they didn't get a higher position, but I think they're going to be a big success story from this year's Eurovision.
I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, seeing them at the Euro Club on, what day was that? Monday?
Yeah, some day there was no semi-final because I was there.
I feel like it was a Monday. Seeing him in a more intimate setting, I got a Michael Hutchence, a very strong Michael Hutchence vibe from INXS. And I just, it actually made me invest a bit more of my time and attention into their song, because it's a song that I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it's a live band. They're better at play. They're really, for me, they sold. I was sold when I saw them performing live, because I could see who they were. On television, they came across as like your boys from your classroom, you know, and maybe like some of the audience has departed from that vibe, and that's what maybe made people not really vote for them as much. But what you say about the live performance, that is where they sold me, and I could see them being mature and like mature musicians there.
Absolutely.
Alessandro, any thoughts about Lazara and the middle finger to the public vote announcement? So, I didn't see it personally. I've only seen a picture. I must have been looking elsewhere, so I missed it. I think the trouble with doing something like that is she will have meant it in a certain way, and the audience may have perceived it in a different way, like she's sticking the middle finger up at the audience. And after meeting her, she's not that kind of person. She's actually really, and a little bit shy.
Yeah, I think she meant it like super ironically and sarcastically.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't meant like that. It was more like.
Yeah, it wasn't a straightforward like just flip you off. It was, she did this hand
Yeah,
motion.
but that's the Arabian, that's the Moroccan way of doing it.
Oh,
Yeah, but I think it was in jest. And we saw her actually and got to speak to her very, very briefly after the final, and she was in great spirits. So she's, you know, she's. I think it's just her personality, and maybe she.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure she would regret doing it, because I also don't think she's the kind of person to regret stuff.
The
But
thing is, Lazara is a character. And we're curious to know. And when during your interview, you've tried to see who's behind Lazara. So we don't. For me, it's like maybe she was being herself at this moment, and it's like if we would have seen more of herself and less of that character, it would have made more sense. Because
Yeah.
you imagine Karia doing that, it wouldn't have made any headlines. It would be just Karia being Karia.
I can see a few comments about the performance being static, and yes, this was a concern that I think we all raised when we were watching rehearsals, and I think we did it in one of our videos or did it in a live stream or something. I can't remember, but yeah, for me, we didn't get enough of her personality in that performance. And I wanted to see her moving with that really slick beat. Obviously, she was on this kind of big pillar. But yeah, I don't think we got to see what I wanted to see from that performance. But visually, it was beautiful, and she looked wow. Right, I love this question. Do we? I can't find it now. Andre Icons, you want to know? Do we have favourite artists who we liked for their personality this year? If we don't take the quality of the song into account.
I really like Germany. I thought they were a lot of fun, and for me it was very surprising that they came last. It wasn't deserved. I thought the staging was there, the sound was there. Maybe the lyrics was the problem, but I really like their personality. I thought they were quite fun.
Yeah, and for me, Joe Kraut and Slovenia, Joe Kraut and the Busker were a lot of fun, and the Voyager, and yeah, it was just people that I can have banter with, are the people that I typically get on with, but also Mimi Cat as well, because she's just an absolute darling. But yeah, it's definitely the bands for me.
Yeah.
And I can't choose out of the three of those. But yeah. Let's have a look, guys. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm getting really tired now.
Yeah.
We are going to need to wrap it up soon. Bubble Pirate Blanco. Is that Blanca was awesome? Is that Blanca Paloma? Oh, please do it for me.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to never having to do this again. Vamos allá la Blanca Paloma.
Oh, I love that. I've been making Clara do it all week because that's my favourite part of the song.
Andy has favorite parts, like very distinctive little mini-second part of a song. It's his favorite every year. Last year it was Monica Louis.
There was two, wasn't there? Last year we had
Beep.
Boo, and then
Toys
Sve from Constructor.
So this year is Vamos allá la Blanca Paloma.
But I can't do it myself. That's the only problem.
Vamos allá la Blanca Paloma.
Vamos allá la Blanca Paloma. But I have to do it fast. Vamos allá la Blanca Paloma.
Vamos allá la Blanca Paloma.
Anyway, you'd like to see Amadeo Minghi participate for Italy. I don't know who that is, but I will check.
do I.
I will check him or her out. We've got Anu Arvonen. Hello, Karia from Finland. Hey,
Hi.
congratulations on your second place.
Yes.
Well, I know that Karia is going to be going home like a national hero, and it's been amazing to see the support everywhere for him and from you guys as well. And he's, he must have been in such a big bubble this year, but he's been an absolute. Let's have a look. We've got I was trying to find the comments. We are going to have to wrap up soon, guys, because we're feeling very tired. Oh, Jess is here.
Hi.
Jess, you are Jess. You are Jess. Jess?
Yeah, I think
Let us know
that's
if you
her.
got home. We think it's you. Gingerbread, what do we think Ireland should do in order to improve from now on? Should they change their selection system?
Yes. And maybe some people involved in it.
Even like doing what the UK did, assigning the selection to another group.
Yeah, why don't Ireland just use tap as well?
I mean, it's not the first time they've borrowed from the BBC.
Hey Joao, I would love to do a Mimi Cat and Andy Cat collab, and I'm going to let you into a little secret. I was really going to try and impress Mimi Cat this year with being able to sing Chamada Musica, and I was trying to rehearse all the lyrics and learn all the lyrics in Portuguese. and I didn't do a great job. And then some of you might know I had a kind of an infection in my tooth last week, in my wisdom tooth last week as well, so I couldn't do any singing. But I'm still going to learn the lyrics to Shimada Musica. That's my goal for 2023. I'm going to learn the lyrics. And yeah, I would love to sing it as a duet with Meet Me Cat. Chris T, you're saying your 11-year-old niece loves Joker out. Rye Bailey, you think Georgia might withdraw? I hope not, but yeah, that was a bit of a shock for me, Georgia not going through from the semis.
Yeah, I hope they don't. I like to have all of the countries. The more the merrier, because every country brings something different. There, even if it's like your typical pop song, there's always like a little ethnicity or something characteristic from each country on stage via the colors of the staging or like some sounds. I don't know. I just like to have them all, like one big family.
Gingerbread, you recorded singing Chamada Musica a few years ago. Such perfect. Oh, it's a beautiful song. One of my favourite Portuguese entries. George Makin, you went to the jury final, your first Eurovision in person.
Oh,
wow,
nice.
we loved it. You're going to be hooked now. And thank you, Eurovox, for all your contacts and keeping us up to date all year. Oh, and it is our Jess. You're on the train home still. We can't wait to see you again, Jess. But guys, I think we're going to have to wrap it up now because we're getting tired and yeah, probably going to have a sleep.
Yeah.
And we'll be leaving Liverpool tomorrow and we're really sad because it's been amazing.
I can't even wrap my head around. It's going to be when we're in the car, like leaving the city behind, is when I realize it's over.
Yeah, but guys, thank you so much for your support. If you're new, as always, please make sure you subscribe. If you've enjoyed yourselves tonight, if you haven't enjoyed yourselves, subscribe anyway. Also, go and follow us on TikTok. There's some more videos on there, including our mine and Jess's and Clara's reaction to the voting. You can watch that on TikTok. And yeah, guys, thank you so much. I can't believe another season is over. But we will see you again very, 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 very soon.
We can't stay away for very long.
No. Anyway, guys,